He stared at me for a few more seconds, just long enough for me to put a little more brain power toward the escape route I'd already plotted out as soon as I walked in the place. If Roach, or any of his men, so much as moved wrong, I'd be halfway out the door before he even realized his throat was slit. I was ready and prepared to put that plan into action when he nodded. "Right this way," he said, pointing me toward the last of the stalls. He'd already shown me the inside of one after another, the ones that weren't locked, while the stomach-churning sounds and smells of sex permeated from the other side. Inside each of those stalls was another reason I wanted to slowly, methodically eviscerate this man with his all-too-appropriate name. He was a pest, lowest of the low, meant to crawl through garbage. But I couldn't exterminate him because of the women in those stalls. Not yet, at least. "You know, you should consider working for me," he said, making unnecessary small talk that only raised my desire to torture him. "Fine ass like you could make me a lot of money." "One can only imagine," I answered, not giving him the gift of looking at him when I spoke. It was a lesson I hoped he would pick up and heed. He didn't deserve to speak to me at all, and certainly not in such a casual way. He brought me to the last stall, snatched the curtain back, and shined his light inside. At first, I didn't see anyone there. But then, a soiled blanket moved, and Roach yelled, "Hey, bitch! Get that blanket off before I kick your ass again." Beside him, my finger itched, anxious to pull the trigger on the gun these men had missed when they did their pat-down, before allowing me inside their disgustingly named playpen. Or maybe the garrote mechanism hidden in the rings I wore on both hands. Or the blade carefully sewn into my sleeve. If he put a hand on any woman in front of me, any weapon would do. He reached in, snatching the blanket aside, and a lump rose in my throat as the person beneath came into view. Big, terrified brown eyes, a mass of wild, matted coils, countless purple bruises marring brown skin. My gaze shot up to Roach. "How old is she?" I spat, even though I was trying to contain myself. He shrugged. 18? Why?" My nostrils flared as I turned back to that young girl. 18, my ass. More like 15. Maybe. The taste of bile stained the back of my throat as those big brown eyes squinted, struggling to focus, then went wider as she took me in, waiting, wondering what was next, hoping to see a savior in me. "No," I told Roach, angling my head so that I didn't have to look at her. "I gave you a very specific age range. This girl is 10 years younger. At least." Roach shrugged. "Well, shit. I don't know what to tell you about that. The fuck does it matter how old she is? All the parts work. Are we doing business or what?" The girl, still nameless, shrunk back against the flimsy plywood wall, arms wrapped tight around her knees as she attempted to make herself smaller, invisible. As she curled herself into a tighter circle, the filthy, oversized shirt she was wearing slipped off her shoulder, leaving her bare skin exposed. I willed myself not to react, but I couldn't keep from turning to Roach with newly suspicious eyes. "No," I said finally. "We won't be doing business. I'm done here." Shaking his head, Roach stepped in front of me, blocking my path. "Nah, Redbone. That's not how this works. Ain't nothing for free around here."